Hello, everyone. I'm Brahn, the Raid King from Condemned, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight for the launch of our new website and the celebration of our 10-year anniversary of being a guild. A decade ago, we formed on the battlefields of the MMORPG Vanguard Saga Heroes. Tonight, we're giving away t-shirts, a $50 Amazon gift card. You can check into the Twitch chat on how to enter for that, and a champion level pledge to the game Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. In addition, I want you to know that our producer may be having a baby tonight, so if we have any kind of technical glitches because of that, we're going to just be allocating resources, and we'll be right back with it. I am now going to send you to the man whose hands are more steady than any neurosurgeon, and whose voice is the mating call to anyone on the gender spectrum. My friend, Wisdom, W. Wisdom.
Well, thank you so much for those wonderful words, my man, bro. Appreciate that greatly. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby birds of all ages, welcome to Team CND 2018 on the 11th of May launch party. Thank you so much. I just want to thank a couple of cats right off the bat for making this thing kind of roll and help with the advertisements and all that kind of jazz too. I know the Pantheon Discord, y'all have been very, very kind with us and allowing us to chill up in there and have a good time with y'all and spreading the word through there. So I want to thank everyone over at the Pantheon Discord for that as well. And you know, I got all this stuff written down. I got all these note cards. I got all these scripts. We've been working on this, production, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? In this next bit, I'm just going to chuck it all away. I'm sorry, producer staff. I'm sorry at all. I'm just going to throw it all across the room. I don't need that because it's going to be from right in here. It's going to be from right in here. So some of y'all may have first heard my voice last week a little bit with my boy Scribble on Pixel Debauchery on his PantheonRadio.com show. That's Thursday 2200 and Saturday at 2200, right? Real cool cat. And I was a little passionate on his show with some of the answers I had to his questions, which was good. It was fun, a little passionate. Reason I was so passionate is, one thing, this guild is like my family. This community is my family. And where we started, right? We were talking about Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. And that's a big thing for us because literally, Condemned, Team CND, we've come full circle. We are literally Brad McQuaid's, B-Rad McQuaid's little baby birds, right? Without B-Rad and his team, we would have never existed. There would be no launch party. There'd be no my smiling face and Brahn smiling face and our voices coming at you for y'all to listen to us, which we appreciate greatly that you're all here this evening. But none of that would have existed without them. And we just owe that so much. We owe the whole community the 10 years, right? We're here celebrating 10 years because of basically Vanguard Saga Heroes, which was Brad McQuaid's game. And now we are rolling into Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. So it is absolutely a full circle roll. And that helped us get back together, roll the fences out, roll the red carpets. And we're going to be hitting Pantheon Rise of the Fallen soon. Fantastic. But with that out the way, now let me just talk about the cast that are going to be with us tonight, joining us here on the show. This is huge. So we got two individuals that are big wigs that are going to be joining us to dish with myself and Brahn, and Nastrin will be joining me in a quick second. First, we got Mike from Pixel by Pixel Studios. If y'all don't know what that is, this is Twitch Balls. It's a bad game. When I say bad, it means great game. It's on Twitch TV. It's amazing. It is an interactive game on Twitch TV, right? And I'm not talking about a wizard storming a castle text-based game, not like you see on some Twitches. This is the real deal, and you're going to see all about it here in a quick second. So thank you so much, Mike, for swinging on by. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to dish with you in a minute. Then, of course, we are going to have to close out the show. We are having the one, the only Ben Kilsin Walters. He's going to be up in here dishing with myself and Brahn for a quick minute. And the nice thing about that is, many of you all listeners know, he is Visionary Realms, one of their top guys on the forums and all that good stuff. He is a plethora of knowledge. He's done a lot of different podcasts, and he's huge in the community. So we thank him greatly for taking some time to come out and holler with us and with the community. And the word on the street is if y'all are real good baby birds, he's going to be doing a Q&A up at the end. Ooh, yeah, that's right. And of course, we got these prizes, these great, wonderful prizes that Brahn talked about, and there'll be drops. Keep an eye out on Twitch in the chat, y'all, because this is where a lot of info is going to pop in. We'll say some verbal cues and verbal hints throughout the show, but there's going to be a lot of cues dropped by the moderators in there. So thank you so much for everyone coming. And we're going to do this. Before we hop into Mike, I'm going to introduce my man. He really needs no introduction, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. My man, Nastrin. Nasty Nastrin. 8 years, brother, we've been friends. It's so good to have you, man. So good to have you.
What's going on, Wisdom? Man, I'm super hyped. 2 devs we got here, I'm super hyped about, man. I'm already a streamer for Twitch Balls, and I'm hoping to be a streamer one day for Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I think we made a good stepping stone right here. You got Kilsin on the show later. So push that foot forward a little bit.
VIP, baby.
So let me ask you this, though, real fast before we get to Mike. How did you find Twitch Balls, man? Like, where did you get this thing?
Oh, yeah. So I was on Twitter, and I was just, checking my feed and everything, and saw it on a retweet or something like that, and I thought it looked really cool. I was like, whoa, what is this game about? And I started checking it out, downloaded it. It's totally fucking different than anything we've seen on Twitch TV before.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. So let me ask you this, though. What made you decide to actually use the game on Twitch feed?
Really just looking to grow my user base, get more viewers, have fun with the viewers. Up until Twitch Balls, really all we have is those text-based games to play. So that's not too much fun. Once I found it, I started streaming it and things just started blossoming, right? I bet my viewer base has gone up 300 to 350%. And the community around Twitch Balls has been awesome. I mean, we're getting lots of people playing and having fun. Conversations are happening and just the interaction's blowing up. It's been great.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's very cool to hear. And I'm sure Mike likes hearing that too. I'm sure Mike likes hearing that too. So let me ask you this now that I brought Mike up. How in the tarnation, my man, I'm using that Texas word for you. I think
tarnation.
Is that Southern enough for you? I'm sorry, man. How did you meet the CEO of Pixel by Pixel Studios, man?
Yeah, so when I loaded up that game the very first time, I noticed that there was a little button for Discord down the bottom. So I hit it up. And dude, right when I got in, man, they were greeting me with open arms. They're like, "Yo, what's going on? Welcome to our, our Discord." And it just blew up from there, man. I mean, he was there for the very first stream, racing balls with us. I was able to yell out, "Yo, the developers right here," showing off the game. So it was a lot of fun.
All right. Well, with that, my man, I want to introduce your good friend. Why don't you bring on in?
Oh, yeah. Without further ado, I want to introduce my good friend, Mike from Pixel by Pixel Studios.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Mike? Thanks for coming by, man. This is a big deal. We really appreciate you coming to the launch party, man, and just hollering with us for a quick minute.
Absolutely.
So what we got going on, so once again, thanks again, brother. What we got going on now, everyone should be able to see, the baby birds out there are seeing a few things that are popping up here on Twitch. You're seeing a map right up on there, right? So before we start dishing with Mike, we're going to get everyone set up to learn how to play, okay? So if you have not played Twitch Balls before, you're going to take your attention to the top of that screen. It says !play. Go ahead and type that in. Now you can do two things. You can do !play, and that will give you a random ball that you see on the side, left-hand side. Those balls are also numbered. You can do !play, space 1, space 2, or space 3, and you'll get to choose your racer. And of course, it's going to be a game. It's a match. And it can't be a match, can't be a race without fabulous prizes, right? So my man, Brahn, Vanna, would you please, Giselle, please demonstrate to all the baby birds out there. Look at that. The colors, the coalition. Oh, it slides together just nice. And it's very form-fitting, as you can see. Very, very pleasurable. Absolutely. You have a chance to win that shirt. All you got to do is take first place. All right. And of course, my last thing, then we'll get to Mike. I promise. Don't forget, everybody. The mods are going to be dropping the social media hits for these cats. Mike's got some really cool stuff out there. So make sure you check out Pixel by Pixel Studios. This is easy to get, especially if you're a Twitcher and you want some cool interactive game, right? Easy to follow him on Twitter, follow him on social media, just do the work. Okay, Mike, give me just tell me a little bit about what got you all up into gaming.
What got me into gaming?
Well, I shouldn't say that. Gaming, into making video games.
Game dev?
Into making. Yes, there we go.
Well, I was in the military for 10 years, and obviously all through it I was playing games and doing the thing, but I released a couple years ago and went to video game dev school at the Toronto Film School and just loved it, obviously, and met some good guys there. And we kind of just, I formed the studio and invited them to join me. And we started off with Crazy Economy Craft, which I actually had a Minecraft server prior to that. We shut it down just because I got busy and stuff. And then we led into the app itself, and that was more of a learning process than anything. So it's not available right now. It's actually just shut down. But then we got into Resurgence after that, and now Twitch Balls. But yeah, Resurgence is on Steam, and then Twitch Balls, we have it self-hosted. It's also on brightlocker.com. And yeah, like it's been a crazy ride. I guess we formed the company last year, so it's just been insane. And now with Twitch Balls, it's blowing up, and like I'm streaming. It's just crazy, and just meeting great people like Nastrand and others around the community. There's some guys in chat from our community as well. So yeah, just a pleasure, honestly.
Well, I have a serious question. There's this old American folktale that a Canadian strength is equally proportionate to the length of their beard. And so, sir, I have to tell you that I am frightened of you, and I have to know, how strong are you?
As strong as my community.
Very good. Pretty strong then.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, looks like we're just about ready to rock 30 seconds out from dropping the balls down this beautiful racetrack. This race, Mike, what's the name of this racetrack? This is one of your new ones, right?
This is Devil's Chaos. Yeah, we did it on Monday, developed it out, and on Mondays we do dev days at on my channel. And so it's basically just viewer driven. Somebody was like, hey, why don't we do a pegboard? And I was like, all right, let's see if we can whip it together. And there it is.
All right, go ahead and start that 10-second counter. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby birds, rev those engines. We're about ready to drop those balls. On, take it away.
So all the balls are dropping first into the pegboard here, and what's going to happen is the ones on the right side of the screen are going to hit the ramp, and there's not a speed boost there, but on the back left side you can see that there's a little speed ramp there. And there's a lot of controversy on which one right now is the better angle or which better side is the land. But as you can see, right, Dr. Olson's already out into the turner, got hung up though, got through the circle only to be rushed back. A couple of people have made it through the ladder spinner. You can see a couple of people flying off the map. They're already done. You got Scribble right here going to the shower drain, but he gets cut off. Looks like Jackie there in the front got a couple of piston stoppers. They're going right past them. Nope, back and bouncing forth. They're out of there. Lead is now over. Mike, when I get done, I'm going to have you call the winners when we get down there, please, if you don't mind. Oh, there they go. Off the map, another one. Robo Lights, Crazer, Scribbles coming down the middle after the funnel through the first turnpike. Looks like Crazer in the lead. CND Crazer in the lead, followed by Rob Lights. Scribble, MMO after that. Oh, they hit the speed boost past the Mega Pistons. You can see Rob Light hit the backwards reverse speed, and Scribble is into the Tunnel of Terror. Kind of getting bounced around in there, not really making any headway. Crazer's off. He's gone. See you later. Army J and misses the jump onto the ramp. CND Broflex in, though, hitting it, going down, changing the right side of the Ultra Jump. Let's see what happens. Can they stick it? They cannot. They are gone, too. Managing Clove in the lead. But you see that right there? Punk Light just jumped the map. They're going to the turnpike, already going down. Although it looks like they might be going a little bit of counter physics there. Now they're catching back up, going on the turnpike. Glacier now in the lead, going down the turnpike on the right side. Anime, oh, who was that? Did somebody just shoot past down the middle? I don't know. We'll have to catch up with them in a later. Nope, they did not. They are off the map. So here we go. Glacier coming through the middle, out of the turnpike first, down into the victory spoon. All they have to do is a couple more passes here. What's going to happen? Anime Glacier. One more churn before they get to the finish line. Really anyone's game here in the front. this thing can really make you go around for a while before getting you out. They're bouncing around, bouncing around. Who's going to be the first one to make the move? Anime looks like they're coming. Mike, go ahead, take it from here.
Cloudy Gaming comes in for first. Anime is coming in for second. And we got Terminal Gain for third. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, guys. A mod will be contacting you within the Twitch chat there. Hit you up, get your information. Make sure you get one of these fine T-shirts that we are all wearing tonight.
Twitch balls, baby.
Oh yeah, that's a blast. That is absolutely. I have actually never seen that track in action. That is an elimination nightmare. My goodness, that's good. That's good. That's real good. All right, so we're gonna start loading up another game here in just a quick second. So when this thing all finishes out and we got all this stuff rolling, if we can load up another map, and everyone, once that map pops up on your screen, just do !play. But in the meantime, Mike, question for you. So tell me a little bit about this. I know nothing about this part. So like, I know you do run sales on stuff and like in coins. How's all that work?
Yeah, so we used to have it where you would click on a skin in our customizer and that's the way you go through the purchases, but it was a little bit clunky and not really user friendly. So we just added in the coin system. They're called PvP coins, pixel by pixel coins. Pretty simple. And we're hosting a sale now. This is our first ever sale this weekend. And the PvP coins are not only for Twitch balls, but we're planning to release future games into the launcher, and the PvP coins will be crossed into all the games, so you can unlock stuff. And if you have extra coins, you'll be able to use them everywhere.
Oh yeah. So as people get in and hit that play button, Mike, I also have a question for you. You know we love that track builder option. You know there's nothing like that nasty 15 drops of death track. So we've talked in the past about some ideas for all the folks out there that have not played Twitch balls. Are we going to be getting speed boosters, the popcorn maker, and other various cool assets in the game?
Yeah, so like we have the seasons coming. So that's our main drive right now, is getting that season system up and running. But once we get that done, the plan is to expand out that track builder, get it a little bit more user-friendly, and get more customization in there for you guys. So we can just make the craziest tracks in the world. Obviously, when you have it in more people's hands, you can make more tracks than I can, right? So
yeah, baby, it's so fun hitting you up on those Mondays and helping design those tracks. It's good stuff.
Oh, it's tons of fun. Favorite day of the week?
All right, we have the 30-second timer. If we'll take your attention, racers, as we zoom in a little closer to some of these balls. As you can see, there's some pretty unique ones. Oh, look at that one there. That is a teamcnd.com. That is our original emblem ball that Mike and his team were gracious enough to make for this launch party. So once again, thank you so much, Mike.
Absolutely, no problem.
Then you also got Mr. Clean in Snow. Glistening, glistening, glistening. Right there. That's right. That's right. That is Nasty Nastrin's ball. As you can see, he's got the Condemned emblem on his headphone set right there. Very, very nice. And what we're going to do, go ahead and start that 10-second counter. Looks like we have everyone ready to go.
Good luck.
Brahn, take us away.
So first we're going to go down the ramp into the teenage funnel. I like to call it that because it's the stubble. And what you want to do is one of the rare obstacles within the game where if you hit the stubble, it actually launches you down. As you can see Foxlore here in the lead having hit that, but he decides, I'm done with the game already. I made my mark on the world. Plunkett here, Punklight here, go hit the speed bump after the moguls. They're in the lead. Everybody else is just flying off back there. Punklight's here, hitting the pistons. They're going to go up and down. He only hits one of them, throws them quite a bit off course, though. Now he's going to have to fight the corner curves. But as you can see, everybody else is lemonading off the back there. Juicebox, though, making a move here. Oh, look at this. Zillion T coming through there saying, why you guys play back there? I'm going to go ahead and try to go ahead. Mike, take it.
And Zillion takes first place. Owen's out. What happened there? Everybody's falling out here.
Yeah,
probably drunk is out as well.
No one wants second.
Zoltar grabs second. And who was that for third? I couldn't tell. Which one was it?
I can't read the screen. Looks like
Brew.
Third.
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah. Hey, congratulations to everybody who finished. It looks like just doing that was quite the task right here. Well, that's one of the funnest parts about this to me is that you get the people that, you can be in the lead as you saw there and then lose at any time. And sometimes losing that lead is just jumping right off the map. So
that's a wacky one.
All right, and fun race right there. Looks like that's the last race we have for this time segment right here. But once again, if you're the winner of that race, you will be contacted by a mod. You will be contacted by a mod, so don't you worry. You'll get your t-shirt right there. We're going to ask you just one last question here, Mike. I know Nastrin had one that he wanted to ask you before we have you guys jet out of here, but go ahead, Nastrin, ask that question that you have.
Yeah, Mike. So, what does Pixel by Pixel have, for the future? Are y'all gonna be making any other kind of games, or what's gonna go on?
Yeah, so there's a reason we did that launcher and didn't just keep the game standalone and put it on Steam or something, is because we plan to create a whole collection of games for streamers, and they're going to be crazy. There's some crazy ideas I have, and we can't wait to get them created. But like I said, our seasons are the main focus for now for Twitch Balls, but I can't give you any details because they're crazy ideas and we got to test them, and I don't like to make promises that I can't keep.
Yeah, man, I'm all smiles. It was great having you here, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, once again, I want to thank both Nastrin for introducing us to Twitch Balls, right? Which is cool. And then Mike, really appreciate you coming by, man. And don't forget, everybody, social media. Follow him on Twitter. Follow him through all that stuff. If you're a Twitcher, go get the game. Interactive. It is good. It is fun. You'll get your viewers to increase like crazy, crazy hot. But Mike, Nastrin, thanks again. We appreciate you all joining us. And I'm sure we will talk again soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. That was great.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks, Mike.
Take care.
Just a quick reminder, everybody, the $50 Amazon gift card. Make sure you get signed up for that. Twitch's the links are in the Twitch chat. Good luck to all of you. Remember, if you win, maybe throw Brahn a taste. That'd be nice. But, no one has to be held to that. So good luck to anybody who enters in for that, and I wish you the best of luck.
And now, baby birds, we are heading all up into the main event. No, not quite the Kilsin yet. Don't you worry, though. He's coming up here in a quick minute. Yeah, he's coming up in a quick minute. What I'm talking about now is the launch party. We're a launch party for a reason. We have the 2018, the 11th of May, new TeamCND.com Condemned Community website coming out. Absolutely. And we're going to have a little video action that y'all gonna be able to listen to. We have our very own Piratess, Condemned's very own Piratess, who will be directing us through that video. She is also the creator of this fantastic website. Y'all gonna know exactly what I'm talking about once you see it. She doesn't think she's a professional, but let's be honest, this site is ridiculous. So let's go ahead. Cameras, lights, action.
Welcome to TeamCND.com. My name is Piratess. I'm the web designer for Condemned Gaming, and I'm here to take you through our new website today. Here on the landing page, you will see 3 sections of our website that will be easily accessible. Our homepage, our community forums, and our soon-to-be merchandise. Let's go to the homepage. Here you can see our new logo that was specifically designed for Condemned, as well as the nav bar that takes you to all the sections of our website. Our important news ticker, some general information about our guild, our news section, our Pantheon and Star Citizen news, our Twitch gaming sidebar with all our members that stream, as well as Visionary Realms, VOT, our social media buttons that follow you around the website in case you need to find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, our RSS feed, or email. Our YouTube section can be found here with our latest videos, as well as our Discord information on the side, who shows you who's online and who's available for chat. In our showcase, we are showcasing Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, where you can find the link to their official site, as well as our recruitment thread on their forums. If you're interested in Star Citizen, you can check out our team page here. our timeline, which shows what games we have played over the years, and our achievements. If you're interested in joining Condemned, feel free to fill out an application. On our structure, you can find the 5 disciplines of Condemned: discipline of organization, communication, crafting, player versus environment, or player versus player. All our positions are listed here, as well as what positions are open. If you need to find out more about specific positions, you can read about them here. We'll go to our history page now. Our history page chronicles all the different games and our achievements within those games on this page. There are some screenshots that are game specific. And here you can see that we have our entire story written out. So if you're interested in finding out how Condemned came to be and where we are today, this would be the page for you to go to. Now we're looking into the future of Pantheon. Of course, find out more. Definitely check out Pantheon. We're excited. And the last place I'm taking you to is our forums. You are welcome to sign up and join our general discussions, or if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them for you here. Taking you back to the home page, if you feel like you would like to subscribe to our newsletter or contact us directly, please feel free to do so under our subscribe button. You can subscribe to our newsletter or contact us right here. Thank you for joining me tonight on our wonderful journey of having our new website built and showing it to you. Thank you for participating, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Man, I'm loving the way that website be looking, and the fact that it's going to bring new members to the guild is just going to make us grow. I'm so much more excited. Pirates, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, she really did a fantastic job with all that. Absolutely. But now let's do some more prizes. I know everybody digs prizes. So let's do the giveaway. Thank you all for participating in the Amazon, the Gleam gift card. The winner of this gift card will be announced shortly by our very own Piratess. I'm going to kick it here in just a second. But remember, you will get the gift card via your email later this evening for everyone that's the lucky winner. So Piratess, go ahead and take us away.
All right, guys, the lucky winner is Jake Vetch at jakeybangarang@hotmail.com. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. Man, who doesn't love a winner? Congrats.
Oh, absolutely. Congrats, man. That's good stuff. That's absolutely good stuff for sure.
Years ago, me and a couple of friends got together. We went out, we fought some frost giants in EverQuest, and the goal was to win, to get to the point where we could obtain the 10th ring, the 10th Coldane ring. And the time we spent and the resources we spent was nothing like the memories we got as a group. So I'm looking forward to Pantheon bringing that back, and so are they, and that is why they give us Bring the Friends trailer.
In a world of adventure and magic, where peril lurks in every corner, and the elements themselves present a danger. Rise up and take arms. but bring friends.
All right. Well, if you don't get excited about that, I don't know what will get you excited, man. I am pumped. Who doesn't love dungeons? Who doesn't love bringing your friends? Who doesn't like killing things to get their loot? How about you, Wisdom?
You know, I love getting loot, but I love crafting in the middle of town, popping server first after server first after server first. That's gonna make some of the cats.
Nothing gets better than hitting them server first. I'll tell you what.
Absolutely, Brahn. Why don't you explain what kind of giveaway we got to this?
Well, coming up after this, we have the Champion Pledge giveaway to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. Lots of cool things involved with that. Beta access, alpha access. You're going to get 2 copies of the game. Lots of other great things. So stay tuned for that. Kilsin himself's going to read off the winner. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Ooh, all right. And speaking of bringing friends, our main man, Kilsin from Visionary Realm, here in just a second. He's just flew on in, and he's going to be joining us in just a quick second. But I just want to thank you, my man, for coming and spending time with us and the community to answer not only our questions, but going to answer some of the community's questions too, which is amazing and cool. So thank you so much for being a part of the whole overall community, not just, you know, the just the VR community. It's awesome, man. Thanks again.
Very welcome, man.
All right. So what I got, let's just dive right in because people don't want to hear me and Brahn. Want to hear the answers to the questions from Kilsin himself, right? So let's just jump on in. So kind of give us a little background about yourself and how did you get to this place, you know, in your life?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on, guys. It's awesome to be here. I got very lucky. I was actually a community member in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen when it first started. So I played Vanguard for many years, and once that closed, myself and my guild were kind of trying to find a new home. We didn't know where to go. We heard about Pantheon and Brad, instantly jumped on board and followed it right the way through. And early on in the days, just as Chris Perkins came on board with a few other guys, Chris took on the CM role. He was also doing the music role, the music director, and a few other things as well. He was wearing, like, I think 5 hats or something, and helping the team out, doing a fantastic job. But it all became a little bit much for him. He was so swamped with work. And yeah, he had an unfortunate incident within his family, and through PMs and just talking to him, you know, we became friends, and I offered to help him out with a few things, sent a few documents his way of how to set up a few programs for the community, and he offered me the job, which I was absolutely blown away. It took like 24 hours to think about it, just to kind of play it cool, when I just wanted to answer straight away yes. So I was trying to behave myself. And then, yeah, jumped at the chance. I became an associate CM under his wings for about, I think, 2 or 3 months. And then, yeah, was let loose on the community by myself and started the kind of the big task of kind of, you know, building the community and turning things around. And that was about, I think, about 3.5 years ago. So it was kind of a, you know, dream kind of come true for me.
I got you. So it sounds like he was like really mentored you right through the whole process, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. He was a big inspiration for me at the start. He did a fantastic job, and yeah, he's great with words. So I was kind of taking, you know, his lead on a lot of things when I was learning for those first few months. But it kind of came naturally after a while because I came from the community, so it's easy to connect to the community. I know what gets them angry. I know what they want to hear. I know why things happen. Sorry about that.
Well, you're a busy man. I understand completely, man. We appreciate the time you made for us, you know? No, that's cool. That's cool. So now I got a real serious question to ask you. Because obviously most of y'all that get into this kind of gaming developer titles for y'all, what game really inspired you as a younger cat that made you want to do this type of thing?
Probably when I was younger. Did you say, sorry?
Yeah, like your favorite game from back in the day.
So I think for MMO wise, it would have been, I think Vanguard. I think is where I started it all. That's where I really got into hardcore raiding and even leading a guild and things like that. So I think that for me was probably my biggest inspiration for MMORPGs. But other than that, man, I used to play a lot of shooters and strategy games and things like that. A lot of Battlefield and Call of Duty and anything that was kind of a challenge against other people. But yeah, I think Vanguard was my biggest kind of inspiration going forward for MMORPGs, just that working together and overcoming some of the bosses and mobs and stuff. That community kind of spirit and everything was really cool.
I would like to hop in real quick before Brahn. I know he's got a bunch of questions real quick, but real fast. So I know you said you started in Vanguard, right? You weren't on the PvP servers, right? Because if you were, I'd like to apologize right now that I've done some things to y'all. Apologize.
No, man, I had an alt character on there just to check it out, but I was primarily just on the PvE servers. Before that, actually, I was on EverQuest as well for about a year on and off, but it was mainly kind of solo and making life hard for myself because of family and work. I didn't get much time, so the odd group here and there, but it was mainly Vanguard. But you didn't do anything to me PvP, so don't worry.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know about you, but it sounds like basically once you hit the online gaming scene, all the single player stuff kind of lost its luster. It's that combat or that interaction you get with a whole other person as opposed to the AI you can kind of predict that really makes it fun.
That's exactly right.
But the thing that doesn't make it fun for some people, maybe some people for others, is in Vanguard. I don't know how much you remember, there's paladins, and paladins at times could have infinite numbers of invulnerabilities, right? And so some of us are wondering, are we going to be looking at something similar to that in Vanguard? Maybe not to the extreme, but somewhere along the lines of the invulnerabilities like that?
Well, I'm not a developer, otherwise I would nerf them. Kind of because of what they did with their epics and everything. They had I think 2 epics for a two-hander plus the shield as well. So that used to kill me as a rogue in Vanguard. That was really frustrating. But the guys are well aware of that. The funny thing with our team is a lot of them are not just developers, but they're gamers. So you've got, Jopper and Brad and I could pretty much list nearly the whole team. Everybody plays an MMO or an RPG or something in some form, plus has worked on them, created them. So they know of all these problems, that they've experienced them themselves, that they and they're using that kind of thinking and experience as they build Pantheon to try to mitigate a lot of those problems and avoid some of those instances where it can kind of be frustrating for the players. So yeah, I'm got a lot of confidence in the team to get it right. And plus, when we go into testing, we're going to utilize our community as well to help us pick up on the things that we miss on.
So basically, in the development group, do you have everybody hates the paladin vulnerability, and there's one person that keeps using it, so they can keep it in the game?
I don't think we actually have that at the moment. With I'm not sure at Pantheon if we have on the dev server. We don't actually have a paladin in, but yeah, the invulns and stuff they're being managed very carefully, so don't worry.
Great. Well, and the other thing I have to bring up when it comes to classes is the Bard. I know it's relatively new, and I know my friend here, Wisdom, that's all he loves is the Bard. And I know that a lot of people are looking, hopefully, forward to possibly seeing maybe the Bard player being able to create their own songs or any type of content they might be able to create on their own that affects inside the game.
Yep, we've got so look, the Bard and the Necro are 2 classes that we are trying our best to get in before launch. Again, we can't promise them because it takes a lot to put a class into a game, and from everything from itemization to loot to just the mechanics of the class. But we have done a massive update for one of our kind of systems on the programmer side that now allows us to go ahead with the Bard, especially with songs and stuff like that, a lot easier than what it was previously. So we have high hopes of getting it in before launch. But yeah, just it's not something we can commit to just yet. But we are, I don't want to say very confident, but we are confident. we would like to. We love Bards just as much as you guys. We've got people on the team and Necros on the team that are hounding the devs and joking about it in our Discord and Skype chat as much as the community is. So don't worry, it's not being forgotten, and it's something that the guys are focused on.
And so because of that, do you guys, I know that you guys have your characters in the games, but outside of the game, when you're sitting around in the studio, whatever, do you guys ever RP as the same characters or different characters? And is there anybody who, like the guy playing the Paladin, is there somebody running around playing the Necro yet?
No, not yet. No, not yet. They've got I think everyone's kind of like, we do have our own classes. A lot of our us have our select favorites. Like obviously myself is Rogue, and I know Joppa loves his Shaman, and Brad obviously with his War Wizard, which is a hybrid of like everything, just an OP class. But I think at the moment we're just testing everything. Like it's good to have a great understanding of all classes. So yeah, for those of us on the team who have done raid leading and guild leading and stuff like that, it's coming a little bit easier to identify what abilities are kind of a little bit too overpowered or unbalanced, or how they're going to work negatively against other abilities on mobs. But yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and we're just jumping around playing everything at the moment, just having a ball, working things out and just adding things in. Is
there anything where like Joppa just keeps one of his shaman spells, the damage, he knows it's too much, but he's just trying to keep it on the down, hopefully it sneaks through?
Absolutely. And you saw the nerf they did of me earlier on with my Rogue. One of my backstabs was doing like 1,000 damage in one of the streams. And they nerfed that very quickly about a day later.
Everybody else, you probably didn't say that, everybody else noticed.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, and I tried to stop using it so they couldn't notice, but yeah, the stream called me out.
All right, well, speaking of damage in combat, will there be, like an on-deck system, right? So you can swap between, different types of abilities and that kind of stuff in and out of combat?
I'm pretty sure, like, obviously you've got the bar. I think we're at 12 abilities at the moment on the bar that you can memorize. So you can switch, but I'm not sure if you can do it in combat or not, or if we do allow that, whether it will incur like a cost of some sort to be able to do that. Or some kind of penalty, but you definitely can out of combat. You can switch around and change whatever abilities you want on and off your bar, like you could in EverQuest. But yeah, I'm not too sure at the moment what they've got planned for that.
All right, we're gonna kind of switch gears here real quick. So you probably get this question an awful lot, but I'm going to go ahead and ask you anyway. Could you please expand or go into as much detail as you can about the leveling process, right? If, like, for example, in some games like Vanguard, this was big, grinding mobs, people would make grind groups, and you just go and kill stuff over and over and over again, right? Then you got more traditional nowadays, do quests and that kind of stuff. Are both these things going to be viable?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to be big, like our quests, we will have them, but they're not going to be as much as Vanguard. So you're not going to see, quest hubs and side quests everywhere you go. We'll have a couple of, I think we're doing a main quest line and we'll do quests for epics and stuff like that, epic stories and things like that. But you're not going to be flooded with quests everywhere you go. So you will need to do dungeon runs, you will need to pick up groups, you can grind if you want to get that extra XP. A lot of people, even in testing pre-alpha, are finding grind spots and running straight over to it and grinding out with groups and that. Like, it's just, gamers know what to do and where to go. And at the moment, while we're still adding things into the game, it's mainly just about doing the dungeon runs and grinding, but there will be quests involved. We have about, I think, 3 or 4 quests at the moment that we're working on in testing, which is good, and they're a source of XP as well, but we don't want to just lead you around by the nose and have you follow a quest trail and solo all the way to max level. If you want to do that, then it's going to be a bit harder. We want to kind of, not force socialization on you, but we want it to be important enough to make you want to join up and get friends to help. So that's where guilds are going to be massive in our game.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to piggyback right off that real quick. And since you played Vanguard, you know how this worked, was the death penalty, right? When you leveling up, level 22, you're running around out there and you get smacked down and get mobs jumping you from behind. You don't necessarily lose your level, but you would detract. So you go into the red a level or 2, if I remember correctly. How is that going to happen in this particular game? Because I know y'all were talking about you want leveling to feel like an accomplishment.
Yes. So yeah, Vanguard, you went into negative. You didn't lose a level like you did in EverQuest, but you went into what you call XP debt. So if you was at 0 and then you died again, you would lose that amount's worth of experience in the negative, and then a purple bar would start coming up. I think it was purple. And then, yeah, once that filled, you couldn't gain any XP until that was reduced back to 0 and you're back to gaining positive. So it locked you at that level, which a lot of people kind of liked because you couldn't de-level. And lose like you did as brutally as EverQuest, but it was still a bit of a pain. So you had to worry about your death. And I quite like that. I think that's pretty good. It comes down to personal opinion, but I think the devs are still deciding on what they want to do with death. There's still a lot of other things to consider. Sorry, guys. There's still a lot of other things to consider. So with that, I think, yeah, like death's tricky. We're bringing the testers in a lot to help us with that at the moment, but I don't think we're going to do de-leveling. I think it will be similar to kind of Vanguard in that respect, but I'm not sure how they're going to handle the XP debt or whether it will be similar to Vanguard like that. But I don't think from memory we will be de-leveling. It's probably about as much as I can tell you.
Do you think there'd be any type of system where like either do something, or if you go get your like corpse, that you then get that XP back in some way or form, or is it strictly just a D level and then you just got to try to earn your way back out of debt?
No, I'm pretty, again, not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure they're going with if you can get back to your corpse and loot it, then you will recover a portion of the XP or all of it, or something like that. But I think if you release, then you release that XP.
All right, awesome. All right, so this is an important one. If you were stuck on a desert island and you could only have 3 movie titles for the rest of your life, the rest of your existence, all by yourself on this desert island, what would those titles be?
Man, that is a tough question. Out of all the questions about bards and everything else, I think this is probably one of the hardest. Man, I'd probably have to have one of the Bourne Supremacy movies, one of the Bourne series, just for those combat fighting skills and be a one-man army. Wow. I don't know. I'd have to pick probably one of the more recent ones, like, you know, Avengers or something, have some of those, you know, superhuman powers and something to do with, I don't know, surviving so I don't die while I'm out there. Maybe, what's that Tom Hanks one where he's on the island with the...
I was going to say Castaway. There you go.
That's it. So that'd be my 3.
So you just bring 3 documentaries, Castaway, The Avengers, and The Bourne Supremacy. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in 2016, you stated that groups of 6 were going to be kind of at the stage where we're going to be as far as smaller groups, and that 24-man would be where like the dungeon groups would go. Is that kind of where the majority of the content will fall in within that 6 and 24 group system?
I'm fairly, it's still not completely decided, but 6 works well, as I said back then. And I think that's what we still have it as now. So I think that's really working well. And I use the example of 24 from Vanguard because obviously you multiply 6 for 4 groups, worked really well. You could do 5 groups for 30. You could expand it up to whatever number we wanted to. And also, you know, do 2 groups like of 12 and have kind of, you know, some similar content like that. Because it's kind of tough if you shoehorn everything into 24, then it's hard for guilds with more than 24 people, unless they're unless they have more or less, you know, double that number to run 2 separate raids. So I don't think the raiding number's set yet. It's something that they're currently working on, but the 6 is looking like it's going to be the number for groups. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was locked in as we get further along in testing.
I noticed how you said the like 2 groups kind of thing. Is one of the other questions I'm going to have was, is there any possibility that there could be any content that would actually involve 2 different raid groups working together to tackle something?
That's definitely a possibility. Absolutely. I know Vanguard had higher hopes of that as well. They wanted to do something with that huge mob in the desert somewhere that was, or on the island, that was supposed to be for 4 raid groups, like 1 from each side doing different things. That didn't quite work out. I don't know why that was, but we've got the vision on the team and the skill and the experience and the creativity to come up with something like that. So I don't know if that would be for something for launch, but down the track, I don't see why we couldn't do something like that. So that would be good feedback to get from guilds and raiders once we launch the game.
And on the same kind of concept where we're talking about like small raids or a group content, I know that there's some discussion about barriers being in place for like to stop maybe zergs, or when a boss is pulled, would stop interaction from outside forces interacting with the boss fight. Is there any type of barrier that'd be in place to stop maybe two coordinated groups or coordinated groups from kind of manipulating by pulling a boss in a way that would allow it to be more of zerged on, or are we really going to have like some hard boundaries with that?
We don't have anything in place at the moment, other than actually we do. If you one of our dungeons we showed on the video where the concrete wall, the cave wall, will open up if you do the correct sequence and quest. It'll allow you access, and then slam shut. As you saw in one of the recent videos, Brad locked himself in there with the mobs and got quickly dealt with. So that's basically, yeah, like little mechanics like that. I think in dungeons and stuff we can lock people to it. So if you die, if you don't get a res in there, then you ain't coming back because, yeah, you don't have access back through a big stone wall. But it'll be, I think, a good mix and balance of a lot of different things. There'll be some probably world bosses outside that may roam around or be static that, you know, you can throw the entire server at them if you want. And, you know, we can just make it scale, you know, in difficulty depending on how many people engage it or something like that. But, yeah, the guys have got some good ideas for things like that.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be quite the achievement. And I would ask you more achievement questions, but I'm gonna throw it to wisdom for that.
Yeah, cool. Man.
What a silky smooth transition, Brahn. I like it, my man. Yeah, so this is great, Kilsin, that you played Vanguard. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember the website they used to have that would tell you the server first, the world first, that you found all these things. Says Kilsin found this or Wisdom found that and all that kind of stuff right up there, like the armory. So I'm guessing y'all are gonna. What kind of achievement system y'all gonna have in game, and then what kind of system you're gonna have out of game too?
So that's currently being discussed. I know VanguardPlayers.com. I know what you're talking about. That was pretty cool to check up for a lot of things. Even crafting had everything on there. That was awesome. We are aware of that. I know we've got some community members doing sites like that with ItemDB and things like that they're gonna, you know, manually record and track. So I'm not sure how we will handle that achievement-wise. I know it's definitely on the tables, but I think it's a little early at the moment while we go through testing. I think that'll be more towards the end of like alpha beta kind of phase when we get closer to a launch that they'll start talking about, you know, achievements and you know, the more fun kind of things I think that you can just add on top of gameplay and development. I know they are talking about it though. I can't really give too much away because I don't know a lot myself about that kind of system, but I know it's been discussed. So hopefully, yeah. And then we come from a variety of games too. So you've got devs from all over the place, like Vanguard, EverQuest, you know, Final Fantasy, you know, Asheron's Call. They're like everywhere. You know, some played Rift, some have played World of Warcraft. Like, you know, the early days. There's a lot of games that influence us, and we're kind of taking our own ideas and using knowledge and experience from other games to make those ideas better. So it's, yeah, I definitely expect some kind of achievement system in there, but I'm just not sure how they're going to take that at the moment.
All right, well, thank you so much. I know Brahn's got some questions on the UI, actually.
Well, because I like to customize my UI, and a lot of times I like to try to make it a little bit more streamlined or whatever. So is that going to be available at launch or maybe in the future, the ability to manipulate a lot of the UI on the screen?
Yes. So we're going to, changing the UI around and moving it around and resizing and stuff is definitely a plan for us. And reskinning it as well to make it look a little bit different, absolutely. The only thing we're not sure on yet, and we're pretty kind of against, is like add-ons that'll do something for you. So, you know, aggro meters, DPS meters, things like that. So obviously people still can pass combat logs outside externally, which is something we can't really control. We can dumb down the client as much as we can to limit that information, but I know lots of guilds and raiders like that information. I'm one of those people. I love knowing how much damage I do. I know where I can improve myself, my healing, and helping out, you know, fellow guildies who aren't great with numbers and things like that too. So people can use it as a tool to use it against people to exclude them from raids or groups, which is, you know, the bad side to it. But I think for us, we're we don't want to allow any kind of add-ons at the moment that will give you a hand. We don't want something telling you when to move, in a raid or doing anything like that. We want you to use your intuition. We want you to know your character well enough, and the mob, we want you to learn that fight and come down to skill as well, not just a little voice telling you what to do, when to do it, and you just go through it like a robot. There's no real fun.
I love the idea of having to react to what you're seeing as opposed to react to what you're being told to react to. I think that's really crucial in a lot of those fights at the end to really make them stand out.
Exactly. And look, we're not going to make it, some will be hard, really hard, and not everyone will be able to do it. Some will be a little bit easier and a little bit more fun, but we just need to get the mechanics right and the visual aids, the signals right. So, green mist and the mob doing an emotion will mean it's going to do something. So you need to watch for that. If you don't watch for that, then you're going to die or get hurt badly or whatever. But yeah, definitely reskinning, definitely moving your elements around and resizing, but just not adding anything extra.
So seeing that add-ons won't be allowed for like basically boss heads ups and sound notifications. Will there still be anything like assisting? Can we assist from outside of a group? Can we assist within the group, offensive and defensive at least?
Yes. So we still have dual offense, defense as well, assists. So you can, and you can make macros and things like that as well. You just won't be able to make a macro that has like a shopping list of 10 different actions where you click a button, just spam, and it goes through the list and just triggers the order, which you could do in Vanguard. We won't have anything like that. If you make a macro, it'll be for one purpose, maybe with a text command as well to tell the raid or group what you're doing. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as it'll go. Assist, you can have an offensive and defensive target and do assist like that too. So yeah.
Would you be able to do that via macro also still? Because it's just one command?
Assist, yeah. So you could probably, write a macro in there saying assist, main tank, whatever the name is, and then, a text one under that saying assisting Kilsin or something in the group, so healers know who's on who and what. So yeah, absolutely.
And I think we got some questions not only just on the main UI, but something possibly on a guild UI.
Absolutely. And Kilsin, I know this question is going to be right up your alley because I believe made the nice post on the forums about what you personally would love to see all up in the UI, and we here at Team CND are hoping you can make this happen. So my questions to you is I know in your post, I'll just touch on a couple of them, you talked about DKP, right? You talked about guild management tabs, you talked about other stuff like that, right? How much of that are you foreseeing going to be able to be implemented actually into the game? And if you know of what's going to happen in there, could you give us a little details?
So yeah, that was one of probably thousands of posts that I made that actually still on the forums today, which is quite funny because that was from when I was a member before I even joined the team or even had a hint of helping out. So that's crazy. That's how much I am into the community and my guild as well. And I know how important all guilds are for games like this. So that was a culmination. I used a lot of people and the community and my own guild and other guilds to help me kind of collaborate with something like that, to try to get in all the important kind of aspects to help manage a guild, because so many games try and give you a basic kind of tool or pop up to manage your guild, but there's just not enough functionality or anything there. And you guys would know it's hard when you've got guild members 50 plus to keep track, and even a simple task like writing a note next to somebody's name for whatever reason, for loot, for to approve them for something, to the recruitment's ending, like you just can't do that. So I would like to have a lot of that stuff implemented, and I did pass that on to one of our developers who had a look over it when they were doing the UI side of things and the functionality side of things, and he was very impressed and was happy with that list. So I'm sure a lot of that we can include, we will include, maybe more. But yeah, just at the moment, the guys are taking that as a kind of they're using that as a list to work off. So we'll see how much of that gets implemented, but I'm hoping all of it, if not more.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. And another thing I was going to ask about the UI a little bit too. Will the guild UI list achievements? Because that would be a real cool place to have your server firsts, maybe your world firsts, or something like that. Because if you're having that in-game like guild recruitment kind of tab going on too, that's real nice to have all that stuff in the guild descriptions where people can kind of fish out the fakes and stick with the reals, you know.
That would be awesome, man. I hadn't actually thought of that. That's a good, definitely a good suggestion. I'll note that down and pass it on. But that would be a handy place to have things like that too, like yeah, guild achievements, you know, raid targets, raid progression, you know, would be to have it all kind of centralized in that area would be, yeah, great. So I like that. It's a good idea, mate.
Are there going to be any type of like trophy buffs in the game? I know that in Vanguard, you killed a raid boss, you get like a trophy, gave buffs in a limited way to group people. In World of Warcraft, you kill one of the big dragons, you put the head on the spike, it kind of gave a buff to everybody. I know there's no guild halls where you could actually like show a trophy as of now, as far as I know. But is there anything in that in the works where there could be some type of trophy system for a guild to kind of show prestige or a little bit of something like that?
Yeah, like I put that idea forward a little while ago too. I think we renewed ideas like that. So they're definitely aware of it. It's just tricky. Like we're against pay to win kind of things, and we want to make sure that if you can get a buff or something in game that will give you an advantage, that it is hard. It's like tough to. Sorry about that. Where if you earn a buff like that, if you get like a trophy like Vanguard for your guild hall, there's I think 3 of them that gave you a 2% increase. So it was good. Like it added to your raids. You can make them stack as well. So I think if we do anything like that, we need to be very careful just to make sure that, you know, it's not overpowered or that doesn't stack or with other buffs. But the guys, they're talking about it currently. I know it came up in a few meetings about a few things. So yeah, it's definitely an idea. Just not sure how they're going to handle it.
So within your own little guild hall there at the development area, what's the most exciting thing you've been a part of as far as like a milestone or an event that you can look back and so far that's been your favorite moment?
I would have to say launching pre-alpha. There's been a lot of good like streams and videos we've done and achievements we've done internally, but launching PA, like pre-alpha for us was massive, man. Like it was such a huge deal for the team. It's such a big job. Like I don't think people understand how much of an effort goes in, of how many people working hard to bring it all together to launch something like this. And yeah, we were ecstatic to have it launch, and pretty smoothly too. Was great to see other people running around enjoying everybody's hard work. Yeah, the devs were just over the moon. So that would have to be one of my kind of biggest moments or happiest moments, seeing the Skype channels and that from the devs just go nuts. They were just exploding with happiness and running around in game talking to everyone. It was just a really cool thing.
Man, I bet those are always exciting when you guys can share in that big moment together, and obviously those are the kind of things that you'll remember forever, far beyond once it gets launched. So yeah, I mean, much like a guild accomplishing something, I'm sure that was really rewarding, man. I wish that we could be a part of that, something like that one day. That's pretty amazing.
All right, I'm gonna hop in real quick because we got the Q&A popping in real soon. So the community will be asking some lightning round questions to Kilsin in just a minute. But let's hop in because we know the communities out there. Some are PvEers and then some are like us, PvPers. So let's ask a couple of PvP questions. So I'm going to pop the first one off. Will there be off-limits areas, you know, in regards to PvP, such as like a crafting area or diplomacy? If you remember diplomacy in Vanguard, Kilsin. I know you're on the PvE server, but we had our main man Drog who was this poor little fellow was trying to grind out diplomacy, and he would constantly get hit in the back, you know. So is there going to be areas you think that they're going to be places that maybe those guys could be safe?
Possibly. I'm not too sure yet. I know we did talk about this. It's more, I think we're going to wait until we get further in testing and have the PvE down pat. And then we're going to open up I'm not sure if we're going to do a separate server for PvP or a separate area when we go to test it. But we will be heavily relying on feedback from PvPers because it's tough. We always had intended on opening PvP for our game because we don't want to isolate. It's such a huge part of the community that love PvP. And so even having a base game as PvE, we don't want to have, you know, leave out such a big portion of our community. It's just too great. So I think kind of taking feedback for like a free-for-all server or something like that, I know is very popular for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like that. They want to have a safe spot, or, you know, whatever, whether you want to call them Care Bears or whatever, just have a safe area to craft in, or go and, you know, sell and repair or whatever. So my guess is we will have something to start with. It will probably be free for all, or maybe have a safe spot to you know, congregate in, and then from there we'll branch out into taking feedback and getting the majority of what people are interested in. And depending, if we have a lot of numbers for PvP, man, then, you know, we could do separate multiple servers and have one free for all, one, you know, guild versus guild, or you know, one team based, or whatever, have safe spots in certain areas, and we can let you guys kind of help us figure that out by giving you feedback when you test it out.
I have one question to piggyback off that, and you answered most of it about free for all, or if you have enough players that want a team PvP as well. We would definitely prefer free for all. Let me kind of state this real quick. I know you played the PvE, but you probably ran into people that would train mobs all over the place when you were PvE, and there wasn't a heck of a lot of stuff you could do about. So when we were on the team PvP server back on Varking, we had that issue. We would be PvPing one group, they would be allied with a faction on our side, and that faction would be training mobs on us constantly, and there's nothing that we could do until we got on Sartok, and then we just crushed all of them. But in the meantime, it was rough, right? So how are they going to address that kind of thing, you know? I mean, that's a PvE problem and a PvP problem, I would think.
That is, and that's interesting too, man. Free for all obviously is the community's rules. Like, you know, you'll govern yourselves to a degree, obviously, you know, harassment and things like that. Threats and violence and things would be, you know, our customer service side, but the in-game rules, and I like that. I think communities should develop themselves and grow themselves, and there should be community law and things like that in free for all. If you do something that's, you know, people don't like, well, then they're going to bring a lot of friends back and put you in your place and show you that that's not what you do in this server, and until they learn. Well, that's fair enough. If you want to be, you know, a dick about it, then someone's going to sort you out. Where the team-based ones or the PvE, it was training on a PvE server is pretty much an offense. You're not supposed to do it because you're manipulating the mobs to do something. But on a PV, like a team-based server, that's an interesting, having a three-way triangle like that where you're PvPing one and they're training you on another. That, I don't know, that's an interesting point. That's something we'd have to look into. Whether you develop a rule for that or whatnot, I don't know. But giving the option of having free for all or team based, then it wouldn't be a problem for you guys. You go straight to the PvP, full loot, free for all, and just do your thing. And then anybody else who wanted to, you know, team up or be a little bit safer would have to deal with that kind of issue ourselves as it popped up.
So the rule of street justice would prevail.
Yeah, probably.
I love it. All right, so that concludes myself and Brahn blabbing away. Now it's going to be the lightning round for the community and Kilsin. We're going to toss it over to probably Steelcrest over there, and he's going to go ahead and fire some questions out. Take it away, probably Steel.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you again, Kilsin, for being here. We'll just jump right into it from the community. This is from Scribble. Besides having flying unicorn mounts, how does Pantheon plan on doing travels? For example, like portals or spires, trinkets, etc.
We were thinking of doing like sparkle farting whales and things like that for air travel and a few other methods. But no, seriously, I think we are looking at ground mounts like horses and, you know, traditional immersive mounts that you know, fit within our game and our theme. Other than that, I think there was talk a while ago, going back quite a while, of having, you know, all the different areas where you spawn in as for racial starting areas, basically being one kind of big portal that would be somehow worked into the game lore-wise on each kind of continent or each area. So you could travel via port to that area, and then from there on, you would have to then make your own way, which is still be quite a, you know, long travel or long run. But so far, that's the plan, something similar to that. So we don't want it to take 4 hours for you to catch up to your guild to go and raid in a dungeon across the other side of the world if you were over here questing or grinding out on mobs or crafting. So you would be able to jump in a portal, take a fair chunk of the distance out and then still have to, leave early and make sure you got there on time by traveling yourself. And then still be risks involved with that travel too. So you'd have to be careful, make sure you came prepared, or jump on your horse if you're lucky enough to have one, and ride.
Awesome. So would it be safe to say that wizards might be having some portal skills that they opened up similar to what they have in World of Warcraft? Or is it just going to be something maybe in the main cities?
I'm sure it probably could. I know we actually have a spell in-game at the moment on the dev server that is a portal like that, but it doesn't work. So I don't know if it'll ever make it to release or not. I know there was talk of it. I think it's just how to handle that. Like, where can the teleport go to? We don't want wizards just to be a one-stop, take you anywhere you want to go. So maybe it could work like an evac kind of thing where you could portal back to a home city or portal to another teleport that you could then port to somewhere. I'm not sure. I haven't heard much more on that, but I just knew that it was in the works and they were talking about something like that. But I think it was just ironing out the issues. But yeah, it's in game. It's just not working at the moment because I tried it.
Awesome. All right. So our next question, I apologize if I butcher this name, but I'm just going to roll with it. It's INS Met 1 Elf. It said, how many zones are planned for Pantheon? How big are they? And compared to other games nowadays, or maybe could they be compared to old EQ?
That's a good question. I know a lot of people try to compare to EverQuest and Vanguard for zone size, how many and all that stuff. I think I was given a rough number a while ago that we were going to be launching with. I think it's 12 classes, is it? And the zones were going to be, I don't want to say a number and get it wrong. I was given a number a while ago that we were planning to hit, but it will be, we plan on it being significant towards the end after release, but I'm not quite sure at the actual release of the game how many there will be, but we are planning on having a decent amount. I know that's probably not answering your question, and I apologize, but it's kind of tough because things change so much. We're working, we've got quite a few servers, quite a few zones up now, and they're a lot of work, to make sure with optimization and adding all the assets and making it feel like that themed zone is crazy hard. So I take my hat off to our artists and developers and creative director Jopper and Brad and everybody. They work their butts off and make zones feel like lived in, make them feel alive. So as many of those as we can pump out with quality, we will do that, and then after release we'll add as many as we need to make the world feel big.
With there being fewer portals and the ability to travel quickly, is the idea of using time almost like a currency or a resource that you have to manage in itself because of the distance involved between areas?
I think it's more about the challenge. I think everybody these days is just used to and I don't want to say instant gratification, but they're used to just joining a queue, and then it pops up with an accept, and then bang, you teleport straight to a dungeon. You don't talk to anybody. You run a dungeon. All the loot specifically from every mob is just for you. You exit the dungeon. You've never said a word to your group mates. You've just steamrolled something, and then you've disappeared and teleported magically exactly back to where you came from. We don't want that. We want the world, we want travel, we want socialization to be important, in Pantheon. We want you to, need to ask somebody every now and then for help or for a buff. We want you to interact with your community and like the good old days. If that's one thing from the old days we do like and we do want to come back is not force you into groups, but encourage you to, want to socialize with people, and knowing you've got to make a journey to a dungeon, you need to grab some food or some drink or a potion. You need to try to get a horse, or you need to do something and plan it out before just you're not going to just get there safely. You may have to take a different longer route to get there if you're a lower level or whatever, but we think it's an important part of the game and the world to travel is certainly important, and we want it to be challenging.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely remember Star Wars Galaxies, going in the cantina and getting some buffs from the dancers and the musicians. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I guess the last question from me will be from GDE Grandis, who says, do you have any further information on the progeny system?
I do not. I can. What I can tell you is, so the progeny system is basically like it's like the old MUDs. It's basically you re-roll your character as the same character, but it's like you take some genes or something from your main character that you just left. So you would then call your main character your parent, and you would then re-roll as the child of that parent. There's no, integral kind of, web of family trees or anything. It's just you can pick a couple of traits. If you were max level, you can pick a couple of traits. Like I was a master blacksmith. It's been in my family tree for 3 progenies. So every time I re-roll my experience at blacksmithing and I retain some knowledge of those family secret spells or blueprints, whatever. And so that's all it is. It's just basically, you've got to start the whole re-roll of 1 to 50 again. And it's going to be a pain in the ass. You're going to level up however you want, but it's our way of kind of populating zones from 1 to 50. So if you get to 50 and after a year or so, then all the low level zones are going to be empty. So if you've got people progening, you're constantly repopulating zones throughout low, mid, and high level, and for a small reward. So it could be crafting, it could be XP gain. You could experience faster if you're specialized in combat or something, or your class. Then you could gain faster 10% XP to level up again a little bit quicker. So it wouldn't take you as long to get back to raiding or doing whatever you want. But it's not locked in. It's on a list of things that we want and tenets that we're kind of designing the game with it in mind. It's something that we would like to put into the game, but it's definitely not cemented in at the moment. We can, we may scrap it, we may try to test it out to see how it works first, which is probably most likely, and then get that feedback. If it doesn't work or doesn't fit and we can't adjust it to make it work, then we'll just kill it and turn it off and just move forward.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to turn it back over to Wisdom and Brahn. Thank you guys for having me.
Very welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, awesome. All right, now we're just about out of time here. I know you're a busy man. You got things to do, got to get back to work and all that good stuff, so we won't keep you too much longer. Though we're going to do the giveaway for that $250 champion level alpha testing pledge here in a second, and how all y'all joined it. Look at your Twitch chat, and you're going to do !Kilsin. !Kilsin to get entered into that drawing. And while y'all are doing that, I'm going to ask you, Kilsin, if there's anything that you want to share with the community that's new on the horizon, or something that's just close to your dear and near to your heart that you want to share with everybody.
No, not really any secrets to give away. I would keep your eyes and ears out for the new newsletter coming out in about a week or so. It's going to have some stuff in there that I think everyone's going to like. We're working very hard on it, so definitely keep your eyes and ears open and check your inbox for that. Other than that, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity to come on the show and the community for being just so incredible, man. Like, as I said earlier, I came from the community, so I still, even though I work for Visionary Realms, I feel like I'm lucky enough to sit on the fence with one leg on each side. So I still feel part of the community. Things still annoy me as they do you guys. I know when, people post things on the forums, and with concerns or worries about things, I have the same feeling as well. So you don't have to worry. I read everything. I communicate everything to the developers. They're fantastic with listening and understanding. And I'm able to basically translate, from the dev speak to community to let people let them understand what we're doing without it confusing them. And then in turn taking that feedback back from the community and giving it to the devs in a language that they would appreciate and understand. So I feel like a translator, a communicator. That's good because I can get to see into both worlds and really enjoy it. But thank you very much to everyone, the community. The support is incredible, and we wish Condemned the best of luck too in the game.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think with that, absolutely. Let's just move on to the drawing, and then Kilsin has said he will be gracious enough to announce the winner once this thing starts rolling right out of chat. So go ahead and drop that winner, producing staff.
Well, you can take your shirt off and swing it above your head as you read the winner.
I would, but I've got a hoodie on, man. It's too cold.
All right, the winner is in chat now.
Sorry, man. I'm waiting for it to pop up.
It's all
Oh,
right.
Terminal Gain. Congratulations to Terminal Gain.
Gain.
Well done. You know, the proud owner of a champion pledge for Vanguard, for Pantheon. For Vanguard.
Vanguard.
The Pantheon Rise of the Fallen.
It all bleeds together after your brother. I say it all.
Nostalgia always kicks in and takes over.
Man, we've been talking. I've been using Vanguard as an excuse for so much, for like a an explanation.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kilsin. Once again, it was our pleasure to have you up in here, and we really appreciate it, man. This was fantastic. I know it was great for all of our Team CND community, and then the rest of the Pantheon community and the Vanguard community. All those cats, you know, after everyone loved it, and thank you so much. I just can't say it enough, man. This is awesome. This is great. Thanks again.
Yeah,
You're
thank
very
you so
welcome.
much.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
I would say we would send you one of these T-shirts, man, but I don't know what is the shipping rates for Australia, man. That's gotta be crazy.
It'd probably be better just to 3D print it, right? Cheaper, just 3D print it right there. You can pick it up.
You'd need to win the lottery or something to send something to me in Australia. It's crazy.
Kilsin, I'll send you one.
We'll send it to your office in California. I'm sure you're there.
Well, maybe next time
Absolutely.
we just have somebody heading that way. They'll just bring it with them.
That's it. Next time you're down visiting in Australia, let me know.
All right, will do, man. Thanks again. We appreciate you joining us. You have yourself a wonderful night. I think we kept you over a little bit, but hope that was all right.
That's all good, man. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.
All right, and with that, baby birds, we'd like to thank you all from myself, Wisdom, W Wisdom. Thank you so much for joining us and celebrating this 10 years of Condemned Gaming, starting all the way back in Vanguard, Saga of Heroes, being the godfathers, Mr. B-Rad McQuay's little baby birds. We're just twerping away, tweeting away. I think I said that wrong. It's that Twitter, man. Twitter gets me all messed up, man. Twitter, tweeting, whatever, man. The social media, these kids. It's good times. Good times. Showing my age right now. Brahn, I know you like to say a word or two before we roll out of here and we start rolling the vids.
Yeah, I'm just saying, hey, check out the website. It's great. If you check out the Words of Wisdom podcast in there, you can hear from me and Wisdom. We're going to be putting out a couple episodes here coming up real soon. So look forward to that. And Matt, hit that apply button if you want to come join Condemned. We're always looking for new people, and we'd be excited to have you.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, baby all ages, don't forget, check out the chat in Twitch TV and check out the Pixel by Pixel Studios drop downs for the social media and the VR Rims drop downs for social media. Want to stay in the loop with Twitch balls? Want to stay in the loop with Pantheon? Follow these. Follow both of them. Follow their Twitters. You get up in there, get on the newsletter list. This is a big deal. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right. This is Brahn and Wisdom. All out of here.